Now, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology continue to reshape global finance, investment, and innovation. In 2025, the digital asset market witnessed renewed volatility, regulatory shifts, and growing institutional interest, while blockchain adoption is expanding beyond currencies into payments, supply chains, and governance. As trading activities pick up in 2026, questions remain about regulation, market stability, investor confidence, and the role of emerging economies like Nigeria. Our guest is an economist and blockchain expert, Arome Aboh, as we examine where the crypto market stands today and what forces will shape its future. It's a pleasure to have you on the program, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here as well. Thank you very much.
Now let's start by asking this simple question, which many Nigerians are asking. Is cryptocurrency really as profitable as it is being made to look?
Absolutely. I think that's evident in the market performance of Bitcoin, for instance, which is the pioneer cryptocurrency. As we can see, just last year in 2025, Bitcoin peaked at $126,000. If you go back to the inception of when Bitcoin was actually introduced in 2008, there's no other asset in the market that's actually come even close to performing as Bitcoin has done in the past couple of years.
So how would you assess the state of the cryptocurrency market in 2025? Were there major trends that defined crypto and blockchain in 2025 globally?
I think the market's absolutely bullish. We had major trends in 2005, but most importantly, against the backdrop of the Bitcoin halving event, which is an algorithm included in the Genesis block for Bitcoin, which reduces the rewards for miners every 4 years. We had the first halving event in 2012. We had the second one in 2016. We had the third one in 2020. We had the fourth one in 2024, which is just about 2 years ago now. What that has done is it's reduced the amount of Bitcoin that will ever be in circulation. So this has actually led to more and more institutions adopting Bitcoin as a security. Just recently, in 2024, 2024, we had the U.S. Securities and Exchanges Commission approve the first Bitcoin ETF, making Bitcoin accessible to investors and giving that confidence to this asset class.
Many people think cryptocurrency and blockchain are the same thing. Can you help us understand blockchain technology itself?
Yes, that's one of the conversations that's been had previously. The best analogy I like to use in this particular case is comparing the internet with the email. If you go back like just over a decade ago when the internet was actually, over 2 decades ago when the internet was just gaining adoption, a lot of people, you can't say the email is the internet. The email is actually the first innovation born of the technology, which is the internet. And the same thing goes for the blockchain and cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is actually the first innovation that was born of the blockchain. The blockchain simply is a distributed ledger that entails records to be kept on the blockchain. So that is basically the difference. So one of the biggest things we've seen in the blockchain industry, most especially in 2025, is we're getting more and more institutions get into the market and bringing investor confidence. Big institutional investors in America like BlackRock, like Fidelity Investments, these are multi-billion dollar asset managers getting into the cryptocurrency market and bringing confidence as well.
Beyond Bitcoin and digital market, how else can blockchain technology be applied in real sectors like governance, trade, and let's say supply chain management in Nigeria that many people may not be aware of?
Well, ever since the inception of the technology of Bitcoin, for the financial sector has contributed 41% adoption rate of this innovation. But with the advancements in blockchain technology and immutability of the blockchain and the vast powers it has in terms of record keeping, you can use it for vast, in different sectors like real estate and also hospitality. In the real estate market, for instance, there's this concept on the blockchain known as fractional ownership. So where real estate assets are put onto the market and then they tokenize it so you can own fractions of a particular real estate asset. So those are some of the ways that blockchain can actually be used in other in other sectors as well. Another part it could be used is in hospitality. Hotels can actually use blockchain technology to keep better records in terms of their clientele.
Interesting. Now let's talk about regulation and market confidence. Where does Nigeria currently stand in terms of crypto and blockchain regulation?
Well, I've always been an advocate for the cryptocurrency adoption in Nigeria as far back as 2018, when we were speaking to the management of the Securities and Exchanges Commission about how important it was to have a regulatory framework for the adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in Nigeria. I had meetings with the management at the time, and at the time we didn't have any regulation, but I'm pleased to inform everyone that just last year, in March of 2025, the president signed into law the Investment and Securities Act of 2025, which literally classifies cryptocurrencies as a security. So this opens the field now for other people who would like to invest in cryptocurrencies, because in as much as it's a volatile market, I think regulation can actually nip this in the bud.
What do you see as the key factors that will shape cryptocurrency markets in 2026? Is it regulation, technology, or macroeconomic conditions?
I think it's a combination of all of them. I think regulation plays a big part in encouraging people to get into the market, but obviously you do need a very, very viable macroeconomic environment to encourage people to get into the market. I think the government has done their part with the passing into law the Investment and Securities Act of 2025. You have CBN, who in 2021 launched the digital e-Naira, although it hasn't been adopted yet. But these just to show that regulation actually is the first step, and then people can now gain confidence of getting into the market.
All right, Nigeria has witnessed several high-profile crypto-related scams and Ponzi schemes that have defrauded thousands of people. How can everyday Nigerian, distinguish between legitimate cryptocurrency investments and fraudulent schemes that simply use crypto jargon to deceive? And what risk should investors and businesses be mindful of in 2026?
Yes, there's been a lot of frauds, perpetrated, especially in the cryptocurrency markets, but like I've often advocated for as well, this is not peculiar to the cryptocurrency markets as well. There are frauds being, done in the traditional banking system as well. And that is where regulation comes in as well. As regards, cryptocurrencies, a lot of them have actually turned out to be scams. That is why we always encourage people to do their due diligence and, conduct sufficient research to ensure that you're investing in a token that has, a real world use case. I'll give you an example. Bitcoin is actually one of the best cryptos, although it's up value at the moment. It's not as much as it should if you invest at the moment. But there are other cryptocurrencies as well that have great potential for the future, and it's imperative you do your own research as well.
Now let's talk about opportunities that blockchain presents for developing economies like Nigeria. Can you tell us some of these opportunities that blockchain technology presents for developing economies?
Absolutely.
Like ours?
I think the blockchain industry, it's still a burgeoning industry in the sense that it's just started, and there's so much room for potential. You're talking about over a market cap that is close to $1 trillion. And I think it's imperative for the Nigerian government to key into this and not just be the laggards. If I use an S-curve, for example, to measure the rate of adoption, especially in this part of the world of innovations, we tend to be the last to adopt innovations, and that necessarily shouldn't be the case. This particular technology, blockchain, has vast use cases, and that we need to tap into that, and it could create a lot of jobs and open up industries that hadn't been opened up previously.
All right, before I let you go, what should viewers and Nigerians watching this program closely look out for in the crypto and blockchain space this year?
I think the convergence of artificial intelligence and blockchain technology is actually what Nigerians should look forward to. I'm sure everyone's conversant with artificial intelligence now, which is basically machines performing human tasks based on learning and other characteristics. And definitely that's the future. Artificial intelligence and blockchain, the symbiotic relationships that they have, that is the future.
All right, Mr. Arome Aboh, thank you very much for sharing your insight on cryptocurrency and blockchain technology with us.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Great. Moving on, oil prices